Let me share my secret for turning simple chicken into an elegant, unforgettable meal. First, gently warm your pan and pour in a few tablespoons of olive oil to build our foundation and a pat of butter for extra flavor. Add the 4 chicken thighs. For the best sear, always make sure your chicken is patted dry beforehand. It's time for a pinch of salt and black pepper. I highly recommend using freshly cracked pepper here. It truly makes a world of difference. Once a few minutes have passed, carefully turn the pieces over. Let's add another light sprinkle of salt to this side. And follow up with a bit more freshly cracked pepper. When the thighs are perfectly golden and cooked all the way through, we will transfer them to a warm plate to rest. Notice those dark spots left behind in the skillet? I consider that culinary gold, as it will create the perfect savory base for our creamy sauce. Now let's take 1 large onion. Ideally, I always recommend using a shallot for this recipe because of its delicate, sweet flavor that blends perfectly into a cream sauce. However, I couldn't find any at the market today, so I am using a red onion instead. It is a wonderful substitute with a mild bite. We are going to slice it into thin, even pieces so it cooks down beautifully. Let's drop our sliced onions straight into that same skillet. As we sauté them over medium heat, the natural moisture from the onions will start lifting all those delicious brown chicken bits from the bottom. We will cook them just until they turn soft and beautifully translucent. Using a pair of tongs, carefully transfer the softened onions to a plate. We will set them aside for just a moment, making sure to keep all that flavorful oil right in the pan. It is time to prepare our mushrooms. We will need about 5 ounces or 150 grams. Let's cut them into nice, even slices. Here is a little chef's secret for you. Try wiping your mushrooms clean with a damp paper towel instead of soaking them in water. They act like little sponges, and keeping them dry ensures they get a beautiful, deep brown color in the pan. Now, add the sliced mushrooms to the pan in a single layer. Here's a crucial tip from my kitchen. Resist the urge to stir them right away. Let them sit untouched for a few minutes so they can develop a beautiful, rich sear. Once they are perfectly golden, give them a gentle toss. Patience here truly makes the dish. Now that our mushrooms are beautifully browned and tender, we will take them out. You can simply transfer them to the same plate with the resting onions. We are building our flavors step by step. Now, let's prepare the garlic. We need 3 fresh cloves, and we're going to chop them into fine pieces. When you are cooking for your family, using fresh garlic rather than the pre-minced kind from a jar makes a world of difference. The flavor is much brighter and cleaner. I always take a little extra time to chop it by hand. It might seem like a small detail, but these small touches are what turn a good home-cooked meal into something truly exceptional. Return to the skillet and add another 2 tablespoons of butter. Let it gently melt and sizzle over the medium heat. Slide the minced garlic right into that melted butter. Give it a good stir, cooking just until it smells absolutely wonderful, without letting it brown. Let's turn the heat down to low and prepare another 5 ounces of mushrooms. This time, instead of slicing them, we are going to chop them very finely. You might be wondering why we prepare them 2 different ways. The sliced mushrooms we cooked earlier will give our dish a wonderful, meaty texture. These finely chopped ones, however, will practically melt into our liquid, giving the cream sauce an incredibly rich and deep mushroom flavor throughout. Now add those finely chopped mushrooms directly into the skillet with our fragrant garlic. Give everything a good, thorough stir. You will see how quickly they absorb the butter, creating a wonderfully rich base for our sauce. Let's add a pinch of salt and some freshly ground black pepper. Give it another good stir. Seasoning every new layer as we go is the absolute secret to building a deeply flavorful, restaurant-quality dish. Now, push the mushrooms slightly to the edges to clear a little space in the center of the pan. Add 1 tablespoon of flour right into that spot. Let it toast for just about a minute before mixing it in with the mushrooms. This brief step is crucial because it cooks out any raw flour taste, giving our final sauce a wonderfully smooth and professional finish. At this point, I like to add a splash of dry white wine, though it is completely optional. Mix it in thoroughly. If you prefer not to cook with wine, simply skip this step. Your dish will still be absolutely fantastic. Next, pour in 1 cup of chicken broth. Give it a gentle but thorough stir, making sure to scrape up any of those delicious browned bits from the bottom of the skillet. Let this mixture simmer quietly for a few minutes. This allows the broth to reduce slightly and naturally thicken into a beautiful, savory base. Finally, we add 1 cup of rich, heavy cream. Stir it in thoroughly and allow it to simmer for a few minutes. I always give it this time so the cream beautifully thickens and embraces all those wonderful mushroom flavors. Now it is time to bring our beautiful seared chicken back into the pan. Nestle each thigh gently into the simmering sauce, one by one. And please, do not forget to pour in any resting juices left on the plate. That is pure flavor. We want the meat to soak up all this creamy goodness. Cover and simmer for 30 minutes. While our chicken is gently simmering away, let's prepare the perfect side dish. I highly recommend cooking up some of your favorite pasta. The noodles are absolutely wonderful for soaking up every last drop of that rich, creamy mushroom sauce. The chicken has simmered beautifully. Now we are going to add our resting onions back into the skillet. They will warm through and add a wonderful sweet depth to our rich gravy. Next, we add our perfectly browned mushroom slices right back into the pan. Cover it up with the lid and let everything simmer together on low heat for exactly 10 more minutes. To bring a beautiful pop of color to our rich dish, let's finely chop a small bunch of fresh green onions. This vibrant green finish truly brings the whole plate to life. Well, our chicken is finally ready. Let's lift the lid and see the beautiful dish we have created today. Let's build our dish, starting with 1 generous piece of our creamy chicken. Next, we add a generous portion of our perfectly cooked pasta. And of course, we must spoon over plenty of our rich mushroom sauce. It adds incredible juiciness, soaking right into the pasta and coating the chicken perfectly. Garnish with chopped green onions. Just look at this incredible plate. The aroma in my kitchen right now is absolutely unbelievable. We have that rich, velvety cream sauce coating our perfectly tender chicken and the pasta. It's warm, comforting, and packed with deep, savory mushroom flavor. This is exactly the kind of meal that brings everyone to the table. Let's see how tender this really is. The knife just glides right through. Look at that perfect, juicy bite. Make sure to get plenty of that rich mushroom sauce on there. It is absolutely delicious. Thank you so much for cooking with me today. Bon appetit, and I will see you in the next video.